Welcome back to the weekend show. This is the lifestyle segment, and on the set with us this morning is Chioma Ezani. Chioma Ezani is a producer, director, and actress. Thank you for coming on the show this morning, Chioma.
Thank you very much.
And sitting next to Chioma is Reggie. Reggie is a Berlin-born music producer, singer, songwriter. He's a multi-talented entrepreneur who owns a beat factory called The Hitmaker on Deck. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You guys look amazing.
So do you.
Thank
Yes,
you. Okay,
exactly.
so we're talking about public display of affection. Everyone calls it PDA. So we're going to be looking at, the necessary things, when it's right, when it's not right, a whole lot. And let's start with you, Chioma. Are you here for public display of affection? Are you here for PDA?
Well, maybe at the end of the show you can tell if I am for or against. However, I wouldn't say I am for PDA. Neither would I say I'm against it. Everything is about moderation, right? PDA is good. It could be good, but how far would you take it? Yeah. How far?
Reggie, what do you think?
I'm 100% for PDA. PDA is very essential. We need to, because it's all about affection. I don't really care where we show affection. It's basically all about showing the affection, because it's a very essential thing when it has to do with how we actually relate with each other and how we actually want to feel close to each other, because basically human beings, all we seek is human connection. And without affection, I don't really know how else we can express that.
Can you give me some idea of this kind of public display of affection? Examples of it.
Hugs, kisses, holding hands. These are things that are quite basic, but in some parts of the world, due to religious context, to psychological experiences, things like that, they seem to be like a criminal offense, or things like that. It's just as easy as watching animals. When we watch the animals, we see how they show love and affection publicly, privately. It really doesn't have any constriction. So with how we now tend to put rules and regulations around it, it now creates this bias of it being bad, and just a hug, a kiss.
Joe, I was going to say that.
She's about to.
She said something about.
She's about to.
Is there something about religion, and in some parts of the world? Do you think that religion and ethnical backgrounds of people plays a role in how they want to display or show affection?
Like I said earlier, it's about moderation. He said something about hugging. He said something about kissing. Yeah. And he said something about holding hands. That is fine. Like I said, it's okay. You can do all that as far as I'm concerned. But like the animals, let's talk about the animals. The animals don't hug, they don't kiss, they don't hold hands. We are human beings. You can take it there's a limit to how far you can take your public display of affection. If you're in a public, you're supposed to conduct yourself in some orderly manner. And then you're holding hands, beautiful, with your loved ones. You're trying to show affection. You're trying to show the world that this is who I care about. There's nothing wrong with it. Then you're having like a French kiss, and it depends on the occasion. Say for instance, when there's something to jubilate about, and then you're like hug and then kiss. That's moderate. That's beautiful. When you take it a notch higher and you're doing the deep French kisses, and then you're squeezing bodies like the animals, and then you're doing other things like the animals, then there is a problem. Yeah, so it's about the moderation. It's about, and then like I was talking to him earlier, and then he said something about we're in a room and then four of us. Is it public? I said yes. The fact that it's in a box room does not make it private, because there's a third party. So be careful what you do, because you don't know how it affects the other person sitting near you.
Yeah, but who should show public affection? Is there a restriction on the caliber, on the personalities,
Or the age even.
or the age
I think
even
that's
of the
even
people
something
who are
that's really-
expected
Yeah.
to show public affection?
Like, no, absolutely not. I carry a 6-year-old child you're so affected to, and then you hug her, and you care for her, there is nothing wrong with that. A child could go to another child, hug, peck on the cheek. This is beautiful. It encourages love. It encourages happiness.
My point exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Well, you said something about because of Nigeria, it could be psychological or some religious. But how do you think that? Well, so when you see old couples, you see old couples, and it's really, really amazing. And then you see young people. As a mother now, okay.
Yeah.
How would you feel? What age do you think your child should show public affection to the male sex?
Okay, so here we are talking about opposite sex in a relationship, kind of. Guy, you got to be 18, man.
Oh, man.
He got to be 18, man.
First of all,
I'm so Nigerian to the blood. And then, like you said, religious background. I am a Christian, and I love God. And to us, 18 is attaining adulthood.
But even the Bible says, greet your brothers with a.
He's not his brother. They're not brothers.
these are some of the things. These are some of the things we talk about. For instance, when I say religious views, most Muslim countries have a fine, a criminal act, like in Indonesia, which seems to be like the most Muslim country. You have a fine of $29,000 showing public affection in public, or showing affection in public, or a 5-year jail sentence.
Even with your spouse or your family members.
You don't do that in public. In India, it's probably like 3 months. It's called obstructing or annoying the public people with some act of obscene scene, stuff like that. But in Nigeria, over here where we can show public affection, maybe I hug my friend, a guy, or a girl hugs a girl, stuff like that. In America, when you do things like that with the same sex, it's seen as homosexuality. I'm not saying, you don't have levels to it, but basically these things actually are supposed to be factored into what we term as public. Because in a house, we can have some rooms that are private and some rooms that are public. So in a private room where we have like 4 or 5 people in a private room, just like you said, would you term what they would be doing in there as public affection or private affection just because the room is called private? I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from. And things like psychological experiences. We have a whole lot of women, girls, when they were little, they went through a whole lot of psychological damage, probably from molestation and things like that. And these things tend to shape the way they see themselves as women when they grow. And it affects the way they want to give or accept public affection.
Let's bring this conversation now back to the social media platforms. We've also seen this kind of displays of affection. Couples, far couple, we love ourselves, we love each other, that kind of thing. We saw some months ago, a couple of months ago, Murtala and her husband swimming in the pool, popular Nigerian actress Murtala and her husband. Those pictures came out and generated a lot of conversations from Nigerians who said, no, they should have kept it private, or they should have, censored what we saw on those images. Do you think on the social media platforms there needs to be limits as well, just as you have advanced for?
Oh, well, what I could say is we're growing as a people, we're getting more aware, and I don't see anything wrong with swimming in the pool with your husband. It's encouraging. It could lift another person's marriage. Seeing that picture alone could tell another couple what to do with themselves, and then they could be better for it. My worry is the limit to which we can go. You can see in the UK in a train, people are practically making out, and they call it PDA. So that is.
But that's what
I can't take that. There should be a limit. In fact, they should be fined. That $29,000 you're talking about,
not enough.
It's not even enough.
But the point,
you get what I'm saying?
My question is, why? Why do you have to create a limit to it? Is there any rule, any restriction, any regulation?
Let's just go to the streets, because our crew went out and they conducted a survey. So let's hear Nigerians and what they had to say about this topic.
Well, for me, I think to an extent is bad. To an extent, is not. Especially if they are married legally, there's nothing wrong with it. They could have fun anywhere, express themselves, you know. But if they are not, especially the way we do it these days, the young people, you see, young people doing all kinds of things, using the social media and all of that. I don't think it's fine. But if you are legally married, of course, it's fine.
Anything between wife and husband, it should be doing inside, a secret. In a secret. But when you are doing that, maybe a little children will see what you people are doing. They have to practice you and your wife. So all those husband and wife issue, or girlfriend and boyfriend, should be doing in secret or inside the parlor or inside the bedroom.
Unlike me, I'm married. So I didn't see anybody wife. So anytime I'm out there with my wife, I'll show the whole world I'm in love with my wife. I love her. That is the reason why I marry her. So I'll show the whole world, prove to the whole world. I can even kiss her anywhere, even in the church.
I'm against it because it might distract others and make others jealous. So if you love your spouse, there's no need displaying it in the public. You mustn't go it publicly to show that you love her. There are simple things to display, not public whatever.
Public display of affection, I think my own problem is if it's your husband and wife, no problem. Do it anywhere, anyhow. We don't care, husband and wife. But for boyfriend and girlfriend, they were not certain that tomorrow you people will still be there. Why are you going showing the people? Then you, after all the public display, tomorrow you now leave you will not want to commit suicide because your whole neighbor knows, your whole family and friends know that you're already dating the person. But if you do the thing corner, and when the thing is set and you're sure it's going to marry, why not? Then you can showcase. But for you displaying love that is not yet certain, because at the end of the day, if you know can't reach there now, you say you now be shouting and cheat you now be feeling shy, you want to commit suicide.
Well, I like it. Well, maybe because of the kind of person I am. But in Africa, I don't think it's something that is allowed because we're people we like being cultural, we like doing things in a secluded way. But I think I like when I see couple in that way because it shows that they love each other. So I like it.
Well, to me, religiously, I think that is bad because a man, a woman, whatever level of affection they want to carry out, I think it should be done. It's a conjugal arrangement, so it should be done in a private environment. It doesn't portray a good message to the society, and I think.
All right, I have no problems with that. I believe everyone has the right to express him or herself publicly, so I don't think there's anything wrong in it.
The thing is that it's not bad. If you truly love the person, there's no need of you to be shy of that person. You can kiss her anywhere you feel like. It's not bad. It's something you don't need to be ashamed of.
All right then. So many mixed reactions. I think a lot of people are for it and
against it.
Yeah.
But I saw one interesting comment about how public display of affection can make other couples jealous. Is this true?
It's true.
Okay.
Are you married?
I mean, if you
calm down. Leave marital issues for married people.
So when it comes to being jealous, I think it's a personal thing. I agree. So I really don't care if you're jealous because of what I do. Exactly. So I would not display affection to my husband or my wife because you're jealous. That's your problem.
Well,
so
it's not
deal
really
with
jealousy.
it. Okay. However, he was saying something, and then before we went on the survey, and then I'm like, see, why do we say? Why do you think rape is on the high side? So when people watch pornographic movies, right, they excite themselves. They get one out, yeah? And they're looking for where to dump whatever they've excited in themselves. They go out, not 100% the case, but most cases, and they go out and they find any human being and they decide to use force against the person's will. So giving somebody a deep, now, mark my words, I say deep public display of affection, not the kisses, not the hugs, not the holding of hands. Now, I'm talking about the extreme public display of affection is like a live pornographic movie. So after seeing all that, you've endangered somebody's life. Take it or leave it. And you know the mark it makes on people when they encounter rape and all these things, it mars them forever. So just, even if you don't think about yourself, think about the next person, the victim.
Well, I do have a question for Reggie, because
Reggie.
you seem to, because of, how you were brought up, the culture you grew up in, you were here for public display of affection. But someone on the street said something. He said, when children see these things, they go in the dark to practice. So what do you have to say about that particular
That's the thing.
comment?
You see, if you're a kid, the adolescent age, this is where we grow and we develop. And most of the time, telling a child something is bad only makes the child more curious. We were all children, you feel me? So if my parents told me kissing in public is bad, and actually kissing in public feels good, that would bring in a confusion in my head. I'll just be like, hold on, but why does it feel good? And why is it bad? And who am I affecting? Things like that. But I kind of see how you can say, okay, the kids. When it comes to affection, I don't really see it like a man to a woman or a woman to a man. It could be same sex, it could be to your kid, it could be to your grandma. We try to just create this limit to sexuality and sexual acts and things like that. No, those things are actually, you can do them privately, especially but being embarrassed about it, the fear of judgments, things like that, these things now start affecting the mind psychologically, where you just be like, no, no, no. But we all actually came to this planet through a sexual act. So it seems to be the ultimate act of all. I'm not saying you just go out all over the place and do it, but to say, no, it's a crime, no, it's this, no, it's not, don't do that. You actually teach your kids how to do this and how to understand it, so they don't just go all out haywire and get confused about it.
Chioma, Reggie, thank you so much. That's a fine place to leave it this morning on our lifestyle segment. We've been talking about public display of affection. We'll take a short break now. The weekend show returns very shortly. Don't touch that dial.
Fresh. If you see how they come,